Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm bringing you another game. This is just an ace. I'm actually bringing you a game from a clan war in which Flipshy, our red Protoss, is spawning in the top right corner, and Zode, our purple Zerg, is spawning in the bottom left corner. So what we have here is a PvZ, one of my specialties. I love seeing Protoss versus Zerg plays. And it looks like Flipshy is going overboard with the good lucks, and actually pulling 4 probes? What is this? Oh, and he pulls them back to the mineral line. Okay, that was weird. Flipshy kind of screaming, what was I doing? That's not a good thing. Looks like he pulled a little too many probes. He's actually going to pull 2 probes down here. I don't know how efficient this is, especially with this probe kind of sitting on the pylon. Zode hasn't yet made a spawning pool. He's just now making that gas just so he can do the extractor trick. And, yeah, it looks like our referees are talking it up, talking about immortal all-ins and just going for thirds and winning. Looks like we have some clan war talking going on, and Flipshy's actually letting people know that he didn't do so well here. And it looks like that probe from Flipshy's going to scout, see, okay, standard stuff, there's no early pull, almost actually blocks that pull from Zode. And, yeah, it looks like music is being a little BM here. Should not be talking during the game, but that's kind of how some people are, guys. Some people are going to break the momentum of a game. Music kind of disrupting the players. We are seeing a Nexus first from Flipshy. Nothing else has come out since that pylon, and we're already seeing the hatch down in a moment. Actually, not yet. Zode getting blocked a little bit there, and actually Flipshy is going to put that Nexus down. So, with proper timing, Zode could just send 6 lings over there and cause some problems for Flipshy, but it doesn't look like he's going to be doing that. Zode's actually not attacking that probe, something that's kind of confusing, only just now doing it, and he's going to put a pylon down and block that, but he did sneak the 3rd expansion in, so that's why Zode wasn't too concerned with Flipshy's pylon. Now, one thing to note, guys, if you put down a pool like this and you see a 17 Nexus, if you scout it, you can actually afford to get out 4 to 6 lings and rush his front, make him build some extra buildings. It's not at all a bad idea, and it actually looks like this probe got a little too happy. He should not have wandered onto that creep. That generally means he's going to die. Those Zerglings are going to catch up to him and cause some problems, and if they don't, the Queen's about to poop out. Poop! Right there. So, we are seeing that cannon go down for Flipshy. He's making a kind of mini wall that kind of walls from the Nexus through the pylon, through the gateway to the forge. So that's a neat little idea there. Now, I don't know how helpful it can be if you're trying to get your units in to defend. You don't want them all stuck right here. You want a few over here as well. So I don't really like that kind of positioning. But you know what? I'm not playing, so it doesn't really matter. Now, we do see all 3 expansions, or all 3 bases, I'm sorry, for Zode just building. We do have a finished 2nd. Remember, he made that 2nd because he was blocked at the natural, but we're going to call it the 3rd from now on. And let's look at the unit count. It looks like we do have 23 probes to 24 drones, actually 25 now. And, you know, one thing that Flipshy did manage to do successfully is block that expansion. Because he blocked the expansion as long as he did, he made it so the 3rd had to be taken, and it actually popped a little later than Zerg would like to have had. So we are kind of seeing a slower overall build from Zode simply because of that block early on. Now, Flipshy is getting a Zealot and a Stalker out, which means he's going to put on a little bit of pressure here. So usually it's just a little bit of pressure, maybe get a drone, maybe not. That tends to be what happens when you decide to throw a Zealot in, and he keeps pulling probes. I wonder if this is a mistake, or it looks like a mistake. Very curious. So the Zealot is going to move out, and we're actually going to see Flipshy, ooh, looks like he is definitely focused on that Nexus. He's trying to get those Chrono Boosts out. And looks like Flipshy is going to be pushing out here. And he does kill that Ling on the Watchtower. So we are going to see if he chooses to go for the natural or the third. Because a lot of Zerg are going to respond with a Spine Crawler, for example, at the third. It looks like Zode isn't responding at all, though we are seeing him droning up. And only just now putting down a Roach Morin. And that Stalker pokes his buddy, and those Lings are worried because they don't see anything. And there it is. Poor Zode, seeing that, getting the Queen in, trying to deal with the Zealot, and it looks like he's actually going to do this very nicely. Looking at the units, it doesn't look like there's any problem here. Yeah, that Stalker's going to get chased off. Those Lings going to do a little bit of hull damage, perhaps, but not much more. I mean, we are seeing, ooh, another Ling goes down, and that Stalker sneaks away a-okay. Alright, so let's look back into their bases here. We are seeing that Robo's already done. He's pumping out some observers. We have several gateways being plopped down. We have the third being plopped down. And that's not a bad timing either. So looking at this, we're seeing that +1 research for Protoss just going through. And it does look like Zerg is gearing up to get some roaches out. We have 9 roaches on the way. We have Zergling speed about a third of the way done. And one of the remarkable things is how far ahead Zode is in the unit count. It's 58 drones to 46 probes, but you know what? In PvZ, that's what usually happens. Is the Zerg player gets really far ahead and he starts pumping out those military units. And that's exactly what he's doing, pumping out Lings, pumping out Roaches. He definitely wants to go break that third. And it's really up to Protoss, now that these gateways are finished. It's up to Protoss to get out an Immortal, to get out a few key units to defend this expansion. He actually opted to make some cannons and a almost full wall off. He left a small opening here for his opponent to exploit. And it actually looks like that's what's going to happen. Oh, those 2 cannons scare off the Zerglings, and it looks like we have a redirection here for the Zerg army. They're moving to the natural. They're going to munch on that pylon, and he very well could have snuck into that base. I'm surprised he didn't go for it, and actually those Lings are going to surround the Stalker, almost taking it down. Now they surround the sentries. Those sentries are as good as dead, and it suddenly does not look so good. Here for that Immortal goes down. There's nothing here for Flipshy. Zode is going to slide on into that natural, and it's not looking good here. The Zealots might be able to hold the fort just long enough, though. That cannon is still alive, and it looks like actually Zode doesn't manage to do enough damage here, and here comes his next wave of units. He just has units streaming across the map. And, oh, look at that. That sentry hasn't quite force filled yet. There's the force field. Doesn't catch quite as many units as he would have liked. But he's going to have to deal with that because he does have a fairly secure third. I mean, look, these 3 cannons are kind of double powered here, which is great. And here come the Roaches coming into the third expansion. Those probes are going to slide on by to the cannon, which is an excellent idea. And it looks like Flipshy is coming out to engage the Roaches. Now, I don't know how much I like that, but we are seeing that this battle, another sentry goes down. Ouch, those Roaches aren't even trying to get away. They're just firing down on the sentries, which is not what Flipshy wants at all. And here come more Lings. In the meantime, at the natural, we have a Nexus in the process of dying. And it's not looking too good for Flipshy. He is holding this, though, and he's actually getting his his unit count up. And that's actually a key point here, is if he can hold this, if he can survive this, and does not lose his third, he could possibly come out of this okay. And it's looking really close. We have 81 health, 47, 30 health, and it goes down with only 1 Roach left alive when it does. That's gotta hurt for Flipshy. He's now supply blocked. He's gonna have to hold another push, but it looks like this time he's actually gonna take it. It's little bite-sized chunks he's throwing at him, and that's really not what you want to do as third. So it looks like those sentries are gonna survive. Oh no, they're not. 1, 2. Actually target firing those sentries down, so he takes them down. And it looks like, well, it's not going to stop anytime soon. Zode is putting on pressure, not letting Flipshy recover. And Flipshy actually is still supply blocked, only just now coming out of that supply block. There's no Nexus in that third. So he's 5 cannons connected to 1 pylon. Well, 2 cannons connected to another one. So he has 3 cannons connected to solely 1 pylon. And they're not even defending a nexus. One has only just now gone down. So we're going to have to see what Flipshy does here. He's not in the best position. Looking at his upgrades, he is a 1-0. Zerg is a 1-0 as well. And the problem here is that those roaches have speed down. So those roaches are going to march up. We're going to check that there's no sentry here. And they're actually just going to get walled out. I'm surprised Flipshy didn't do one of those cool little tricks where you force build below and above the roaches and keep them trapped. And then just annihilate something like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 roaches with his army. The reason, though, is because there's a drop in the main. Look at those roaches go in. They depower the robo and the gateways. And then those overlords are just going to march right on out. So, holy moly, at the same time we have an attack at the front. He has just broken down the rocks. Excellent 2-pronged attack here, forcing Flipshy to retreat into his base. This could be it, folks, but Flipshy has survived this in the past. Those force fields going down, trying to cut off the majority of the army. He's doing a good job of doing that, but those lings are flooding in to the left, and here he comes, pushing forward with his roaches, trying to unpower all of these buildings, and it looks like he's just going to go back into this battle, trying to take down as many as he can. Probes going down, and here it comes, the roaches and the lings flying down to this newly completed third, and it looks like he's actually going to try and take it down. Protoss isn't trying to stop this, only just now moving in, and it already may be too late. These roaches breaking down the Nexus for a second time. Can these roaches survive long enough? It looks like they could take it. 169, no, 169 health, and that is it for that attack. So those cannons did their work. Honestly, Zode could have broken out and been a little more careful with his positioning, and it looks like these roaches are just going to keep flooding in. And that is not necessarily how you want to do this. He definitely wants to build up a larger army, and one roach does get caught by 4 force fields. And that observer is really helping him out, letting him know, hey, there's an attack at my front, I need to deal with it. But I mean, I don't know how easily he'll be able to recover here. It is 70 food to 154. Zode has been on 3 bases all game, and Flipshy has been trying to be on 3 bases all game, but I'm pretty sure that this roach swell right here, it's going to cut up and then cut down to the third. So let's find out. We're going to see it right here, folks. Here it comes, breaking down a stalker. He's really not too concerned, it looks like. He's just pulling back. He hasn't target fired the Immortal, which is something that's really confusing. And actually, there it is, target firing the Immortal, and a GG from Flipshy. So that's one of those games, guys, where Zerg is super aggressive when he gets his 3 bases up and drills home. And Flipshy kind of did all right the first time. He kind of did fine with the first wave, but the second wave, when he was forced to defend his natural, left his third wide open to get nailed by those roaches coming in behind the minerals. So, guys, thanks for watching. This was a PvZ with Flipshy and Zode. And, well, good gaming, folks.